He wasn't making child support payments despite having that job. It's just quite unacceptable at this point. It's been many, many years since Mike has held any consistent job or paid any child support.
We're here for an adjourned show cause hearing. This was adjourned from referee Croteau to monitor compliance over the last couple months. Currently, the order is for $1,624.50 per month. That is a new order that was just established March 15th of this year. Last payment was a hearing ordered payment that was paid on February 28th of this year in the amount of $50. That is the only payment that has been made in the last 2 months as compliance was measured. The enforcement history shows no bench warrants and no contempt findings with 2 show causes. But between those 2 show causes, there have been a total of 6 adjournments and 8 hearings. No prior jail sentences for him that he's ever been sentenced to. And current arrearage is sitting at $6,880.54 through the end of March. There is active public state assistance, but no other benefits. He does indicate that he does have pending unemployment, but it has not been actually paid out to him yet.
Sir, in this matter, do you dispute or contest any of the statements made by Ms. Platty?
Yes, about assistance.
Okay.
I don't know what she's referring to with assistance, but I have no food assistance. I haven't received any kind of assistance recently or within a year.
Okay.
I know that.
I think she may be referring to the petitioner having food assistance. Is that correct, Ms. Platty?
No, the system does indicate that he has active Medicaid, that there's a state benefit active for him. So we just let you know that there's active assistance showing with no end date.
That's what she meant then, sir. On Medicaid, are you aware of that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any questions for Ms. Platty?
No.
What would you like to tell me, sir?
Well, currently I am going through Michigan Works to get my CDLA. It's a 4-week course. I'm actually here now with one of the workers from Michigan Works. In order to go through with this program, you need to be unemployed, and Michigan Works pays for the CDLs and CDL classes. I think my first day was the 11th, and the test is for the 11th of this month. That should be the end of my course, and I can get on with collecting a paycheck. As of now, unemployment is still under review. I have not received any assistance and been barely scraping by. Michigan Works is supplying me with gas cards so I can get to Grand Rapids every day and working with me. And I just want to get this and get a job and be caught up with all of this. And yeah.
So if you in fact pass the test on the 11th, you would then have your CDL and would be able to qualify for employment. What are your employment opportunities at that point?
I have three places that we did free class. Hopefully, well, the plan is to jump right into a job, but I do not have a specific one picked out yet. But I know a lot of companies are looking for CDLAs. I've had my CDLB since 2000, and there's not many are looking for B. An A is where it's needed right now. So I took the
Tell me what's the difference between the two, sir?
CDLB is you can drive it's just a vehicle truck with air brakes. That'd be like a bus, a dump truck. You can't pull a trailer. It's a single axle, I guess you would say. like a box truck, anything with air brakes, and a CDL-A is a tractor trailer. Also has air brakes. You can actually pull heavier load. I have endorsements. I have a tanker endorsement. I have a hazmat endorsement. So that's the opportunity for good pay is right there for me. I've been working on.
Thank you. Ms. Rigo, is there something you'd like to say or add?
Yeah, so the reason why we had a hearing in front of the referee the last time was because he had a job. He was forced to have to get a job because he's already done the Michigan Works program once before. And he wasn't making child support payments despite having that job. In front of the court, suggested that this hearing come before you for the lack of, his responsibility in this part. And we've just adjourned and adjourned and adjourned with no action continuously. It's been an excuse. So it's just quite unacceptable at this point. It's been many, many years since Mike has held any consistent job or paid any child support.
Thank you. Anything else, ma'am?
No.
Ma'am, I hate to do this to you in this matter, but what I'm gonna do, Mr. Forthofer, I'm gonna adjourn this matter to June 5th, 2024 at 8 o'clock a.m. and tell you at this point, that gives you about 60 days to finish this up, get employment, start making your payments. I will tell you, if in that 60 days, we don't see anything, you're not employed, you're not paying, I will tell you to be prepared to go to jail. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We're giving you the additional 60 days, but it's the last 60 days, sir.
I understand.
Okay. Ms. Platic?
Can we have that for 8:45, Judge?
Okay, yeah, we'll set it for
Thank you.
8:45. Thank you, Ms. Rigo. Thank you for, again, appearing and enlighten us in this case, but I understand if he has that opportunity, we'd much rather have him paying. And this is kind of his final opportunity. And if he doesn't take advantage of it, then the next time he'll be spending time in jail. Okay? Okay, thank you. You're free to go. Have a good day. Sir Forthofer, in this matter, you're before the court charged with civil contempt of court due to your failure to pay child support.
Thank you, Judge. We're here on docket 2018-12160S in the matter of Regal versus Forthofer. In this matter, we are here on an adjourned show cause that was adjourned in April to allow the respondent to complete his CDL class and begin paying as ordered. The current obligation in this matter is $1,683.50 per month. That's $1,483 for current. $197 is the guideline amount for him to be repaying the arrears and the $3.50 service and processing fee. The only payment made since the time of the adjournment was yesterday, June 4th, for $300. He paid that on his own. This is the second show cause with no bench warrants and no contempt findings, but I do want to remind the court that this is now the 9th hearing we've held due to adjournments. Compliance was measured over 2 months at the $1,683.50 per month obligation. During that time, he paid the one $300 payment, which left him short $3,067. Current arrearage as of the end of last month is $9,846.54, and he has had no previous jail sentences in this matter.
Okay. Ms. Perkins, do you contest or dispute any statements made by Ms. Platic?
No,
Do you have any questions for Ms. Platic?
no questions.
Okay, any proofs, Ms. Perkins?
Your Honor, my client has been working diligently to try to get his CDL. He has taken several tests, and it's several different parts that he has to take. He has to take written tests. He has to take another test where he's backing up the truck and doing several things like that. And then there's a road test. And this Friday, he is doing another part of that CDL test There was a couple of times he failed certain things and had to redo them. So he has been working diligently to try to get his CDL. He is confident that this Friday, after that test, he will be able to pass everything and finally get that CDL and be able to start working. He has been in contact with several different places that are hiring for truck driving, and they have all told him, once you get that CDL, get back to us and we'll talk about employment. So they're not going to talk to him before he gets that CDL. And like I said, he's got that last test that he has to do this Friday. So what we're asking for is another adjournment to give him that opportunity to finish that up. He has been working diligently on it. It's not like he's been taking his time or wasting his time. He's been working on it. He just needs that a little additional time to get that done and be able to start working. He does want to be paying this child support. He does not want it to continue to get worse. He wants it to get better and get behind him with regard to this. And we're just asking for you to give him that opportunity to finally get this done for him. It's been a hard road for him. He was working at Feral Gas there for a little while. They were working with him with regard to getting a CDL, but then the person that hired him got fired, and then he got fired after that. And that was not due to his fault, but the company wasn't believing, since the person that hired him got fired, wasn't believing certain things. And so he's had issues with regard to this. And we're just asking for a little additional time.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Forthoffer, in this matter, she states that you'd worked with Feral Gas. How long had you worked for them?
About 3 months.
Okay, and when was that 3 months, the time frame?
That was, let's see, September to, I'm getting confused here. End of November, or it was in December, I believe. Not a very good time to get fired. I don't know the exact dates, but
was that in 2023?
Yes.
And obviously, based upon the amount that you've paid, that you didn't pay support during that time. Why not?
I called the courts like I should, and honestly, just thought that it was going through. Everything's done electronically, and I thought I was all caught up and or on a good path of being caught up. And then I find out that they never answered back to friend of the court and get that all lined up. But I learned that it's all on me. My negligence.
It's easy enough. See, it's easy enough to look at your paycheck stub or a computer printout or whatever you have. You'd know whether the support obligation was being paid. It's $1,600 and something. You'd know if that's being taken out each month.
At the time, it wasn't that much. It was $500.
Well, regardless, how much? Let's say it's $500. If your check isn't coming out with $500 less, you obviously know that it's not being paid.
Yeah, I understand. Everything's done electronically, and I'm not that guy. It's everything's done electronically on the phone. Resumes, you can't do any pay stubs.
Okay, sir, none of that matters. If I know that I'm making, let's say gross per month, I'm making $2,000.
Yeah.
So I know that my net is, let's say, $1,400. If I get a check for $1,400, I know that they're not taking out child support. Why is that difficult?
That whole situation with that job was just difficult and confusing. I got hired. We want you to deliver these tanks, and then we're going to get you in this truck and deliver bulk. And then Scott gets fired. And
okay, sir, I don't care what jobs you were doing. I care that you were working and being paid and not paying your child support. So all of this is just deflecting from the fact that you didn't pay.
Oh, there was the full custody thing going on with my kids, and just a lot going on. And this child support, it is my fault. But I just, it's a lot going on in my life and a lot of stress, and that job didn't help. But yes, it's my fault. But I'm just telling you honestly how it is, and I won't make that mistake again. I can tell you that.
Okay. Ms. Briegel, is there anything you would like to tell me?
I wish that the front of the court would have been able to prove that the CDL testing has actually attempted to even take place, because I don't believe he's shown up for those things despite him saying that he hasn't passed. The reason for that is because I spent almost 8 years with Michael and he had a CDL at that time. So this isn't something new for Mike.
Okay. Anything else, ma'am?
Nope, I'm just ready for court to be over.
Okay. Ms. Perkins, anything else you have or any questions for Ms. Briegel?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything else, Ms. Perkins?
No, thank you.
Okay. Well, in this matter, the court will make the following finding. In this case, Mr. Forthofer is obviously at a period of time back in September through either the end of November or sometime in December, he was working for Feral Gas. He was obviously being paid at that time. He was fired as a result of, again, his supervisor being fired, but notwithstanding that, he had income for those 3 months. It was not paying any support at that particular time. The court will find that he did not pay out available resources. He failed or refused to pay, and therefore he is in contempt of court. Anything before sentencing, Ms. Perkins?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, the court note that he does not have a prior finding of contempt, and the court is taking that into consideration. He had 2 prior bench warrants, but again, the court does believe, based upon again the total disregard of the support obligation in this matter, that I could sentence you, Mr. Forthofer, up to 45 days in jail. I'm not going to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sentence you to 14 days in jail with credit for no time served. Court would order that you report to the Calhoun County Sheriff Department no later than 4:00 p.m. on June 21st, 2024. I'm giving you that couple weeks so that you can get the testing that Ms. Perkins states you're taking this week or next week, whenever you have to, but you'll have that period of time to get it done. What I will do is state that in this matter that, again, the court will allow you to purge yourself of contempt by paying the sum of $1,000 prior to the June 21st, 2024 date. So if in fact you pay the $1,000 before that date, you do not need to serve the 14 days. If not, you need to report to the jail at that particular time to serve your time. If you do not report, sir, I will let you know that there could be additional charges. You could be held in contempt of court and spend 90 days in jail at that time. So you need to report if you don't pay the purge amount. You're free to go and have a good day.
We're here on docket 2018-1216 DS Briegel versus Forthofer. In this matter, Mr. Forthofer is here for an adjourned show cause hearing. Presently, we are working under a uniform child support order from March 15th of 2024. States he should be paying $1,483 in current support. The present guideline amount for arrears repayment is $309, and then the $3.50 service and processing fee, which brings us to a total of $1,795.50 each month. Compliance was measured over 2 months from the time that this was adjourned from last at that amount. He was also ordered to make a $500 lump sum payment, which he did pay. The total amount due over those 2 months would be $4,091. He paid a total of $1,000 during that time frame, leaving him short $3,091. Current arrearage in this docket is $17,448.54 through the end of December.
Hold a second, will you?
Mhm.
We've got a disturbance in the tank, so I'm having a real hard time.
Sorry, we can't hear it on our end, Judge.
Oh, it's very loud here.
Oh, buddy. Current arrearage was $17,448.54 through the end of December. His last payment is in the amount of $500 that was paid on December 26th, 2024, and he made that payment on his own. Enforcement history is 3 show causes, no bench warrants. He's had 2 contempt findings. One of those contempt findings was by your honor, in which there was a 14-day jail sentence on June 5th of 2024. He paid the $1,000 purge in lieu of serving that sentence. At this point in time, we show his source of income is self-employed. He does wood carvings for money. And he reported to me that he has been living off of his retirement as far as supporting himself.
Okay. Ms. Huffman, do you contest or dispute any of the statements made by Ms. Platic?
No, I don't.
Do you have any questions for Ms. Platic?
No, thank you.
Okay, any proofs, Ms. Huff?
Yes, I would call my client, please. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Are you currently working at this time?
No, I'm not.
Okay, do you have a business where you do some wood carvings or something at all?
Yes, it's helps pass the time and get a little bit of extra money to just not enough to do much with. It's pretty much a hobby that's not a substitute for a job.
Okay, and when was your last job?
That was February 24.
Okay, and where were you working?
Farrell Gas Company in Portage, Michigan.
How much were you making per year then?
I believe it was 22. I hadn't worked there a full year, so I think it was at 22 an hour.
Oh, 22 per hour. Okay. And regular, like 40 hours per week?
Yes.
Somehow your support got changed though, where your income was increased significantly from that amount. Is that correct?
Yes, with the CDLA
Okay,
figured
so
into it.
how did you obtain your CDLA?
Through Michigan Works program.
And is
I've
that
had my
sorry, is that a program that you were asked to start or that you got into by yourself?
by myself. I've had a Class B CDL for anything with air brakes. Class A is a tractor trailer, and yeah, it was something they were offering, and I'd wanted to do it anyway, and it was a perfect opportunity.
And have you been able to find a job doing that, that specific position?
I've talked to many people. The positions that are available are all over the road, 2 weeks of work with a week home. So I really was looking for something local, but those are few and far between. So now I am just I have an interview with Caribou Services out of Galesburg. That's looking promising. I'm hoping it'd be next week because they're in need of drivers and are hiring immediately, and that would be to sanitary, cleaning of, porta potties, and it is what it is. And,
Do you know
I'll
how
do
much you
whatever.
would be making doing that job?
Any 19 to 24 bucks an hour. I don't know what they're going to start me off at.
Okay. When do you have that interview?
Tomorrow.
Oh, the interview is tomorrow,
Yes.
and you're hoping to be able to start by next week?
Yes.
Okay,
As soon as
and then how
possible.
much, do you have any money that you could pay right now in order to appease this situation for temporarily until you start getting your paychecks?
I could make something work. I do have, I think, anywhere from, I think, 5, possibly 600 I could pay, but whatever it would take to appease the courts and keep me out of jail, and or give me an extension, I'll do whatever it takes. What I can do.
So that would be, is that your bill money, rent money, stuff like that? Would that be what you'd be using?
Yes.
Okay, but you'd be willing to do that in order to have the court potentially adjourn this until you can start getting your paycheck?
Definitely. I don't think me doing jail time would look good on a resume. And
So
yeah.
let me ask you this, how many resumes do you have out there?
Oh, approximately 50. Just
Okay,
everything online.
okay. Thank you. I have no further questions at this time.
Sir, if you've had the CDLB and now you have the CDLA, well, why haven't you been able to be employed previously?
The big gap between.
Okay, what does that mean?
Oh, no, I'm just from the last job. It's all online, and tell you the truth, there's not many Class B positions out there. And that's what made me want to get my A, because everything's Class A, Class A. Well, I got it, and everything is over the road, which is good, but I gotta spend time. I gotta have time for my kids. Being home for a week, pretty much out of a month, is it's. I know I gotta get a job and have money and do my child support and due diligence, but I'm learning that yes, I'm in the meantime, I can look for a local CDL A driver's position, but now, I mean, I just can't. I can't keep doing what I'm doing. I can't live this way, and it's definitely different now that it's all online. That's not an easy feat. I'm not not used to you know um, I'm used to sending a resume or going up to a business with a resume. Uh, you know,
Okay.
so
Well, I'm just looking at this, at least as far as trucking. I don't know if it's the case, but as I drive down the highway, it's almost every truck has, signs on saying looking for drivers, et cetera. So it just seems like it would be an easy thing to acquire.
I can totally see where you're coming from, and it does seem that way. I mean, it seems everybody's hiring, but it is all long haul over the road, and Yeah, everybody I talk to says the same thing, Judge. And it's just, it's not that easy. It's not that simple. And I'm finding out with the CDLA, there's things that come with it. It's not just driving a truck. You know, there's a lot of just not much family time. I would really like something where I'm home daily. And there are positions out there like that. But just one of them has to open up for me.
Okay. I will let you know, you have a sizable, again, support obligation here. You do have a right to petition to have that modified if you desire to do that. So you can file the petition yourself by going to the circuit court clerk's office and getting the paperwork and filing that.
Yes.
What's your education background, sir?
Graduated from high school, did, a year at college and that's about it. And then I got hired with the city of North Ridgeville in Ohio, acquired my CDLB in 2000. And, I have a tanker endorsement, hazmat endorsement, that I got with Feral Gas here, but that's my education background, I guess.
Okay.
Um,
Do you have any
yeah.
physical or mental disabilities that keep you from working?
No.
Anything else you'd like to tell me, sir?
Yeah. Well, during the holidays, and Brittany knows when her and I got together, finding a job was not easy. I went through temp agencies and I had a good resume. For UPS, I jumped for them one Christmas, just running packages back and forth. That was like part-time. It was whenever they called you. I've had a lot of odd jobs when I first came here, and then I temp agency, like I said, that wasn't a lifetime job, but I got a job with the city, I'm sorry, Republic Services, and held on to that one for 5 years. And her and I separated. And I think I worked there another year. And change of management. I lost it because of that. And so it's just not as easy as it looks or sounds to find a job. But I just need a little bit of more time here, and because this is not the way I want things to go. And that's, I ask for the courts to just give me one more chance.
Okay.
That's all.
Ms. Brago, is there anything you'd like to say, ma'am?
There's a lot I could say. I work in logistics. I work for one of the major carriers in our country, and I also have a lot of contacts in the Battle Creek area and surrounding just because of what I do. And I sent Michael a list of probably 10 to 15 different local trucking companies that I knew that were hiring almost immediately. And a lot of them have a sign-on bonus because finding good drivers is a difficult thing. However, every time we come to court, it's another story about I almost have a job. Next week I'll have this. Next week I'll have that. I know my son told me that he has interviewed and tried for some jobs, but couldn't pass the trucking test for that facility or that company. I don't know if that's what's been the hang up or not, but this is just not. You could be over the road. He could be over the road. He could be out 2 weeks and home. It's a matter of convenience. He doesn't even have his custody of his kids except for holidays and the summer. So I allow him to see him out of my own generosity and flexibility, but that should not be anything that's keeping him from getting a job this entire time. It's just unacceptable to me.
Anything else, ma'am?
No, that's all.
Okay. Ms. Huffman, anything?
I would just ask the court to consider adjourning this, allowing him just a couple of weeks to see if he can get this job and get things going. He is willing to make that $500 or $600 payment as soon as possible. I think he said he could make it by next Friday, at least by the end of the month, he could make that, and perhaps the court could set this matter for the end of the month, and he would have made that payment and have a job and hopefully even maybe have his first check by then. So that's what I would ask for at this time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Well, the court has heard the testimony in this matter, and the court notes that the respondent has good credentials in this matter. He has high school education. He has 1 year of college. He had his CDLB, is now has a CDLA. He also talks about having a hazmat credentials in this matter as well, certification, if you would. And he has, again, has the opportunity to be into trucking, and obviously it's not his desire to be over the road, so he's not at home as much. But the fact is, when you look at the alternative, yeah, you need to do something, and if that's what you have to do, you have to do that to support your child. You have a sizable arrearage in excess of $17,000. So this isn't something that's creeped up on you and all of a sudden happened. You haven't paid for a considerable period of time. Court advised you, as I had previously, you have a right to seek a modification of your support, so you can do that if you wish to do so. In this case, he has not worked since sometime back in early 24. Last job ended sometime in February of 24, so we're going on a year of not working. And although he stated he has various resumes out, court notes it's probably he's resistant to do the over-the-road stuff, and as a result, he's limiting himself as to what he basically would be able to take as far as jobs. Although it sounds like, from speaking to Ms. Brago, that obviously there's a lot of jobs available out there. The court will find that he has not exercised good faith attempt at compliance, he's failed or refused to comply, and he is in contempt of court. Anything before sentencing, Ms. Huffman?
I would just ask the court to set the purge amount, allow him to be able to pay that prior to, or give him the time to pay that prior to sending him to serve the time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Court had previously, Mr. Forthoffer was previously held in contempt on 2 occasions by myself back in June of 2024, giving him 14 days. He did satisfy that by paying the purge amount. And but as you'll see, Mr. Forthoffer, in these matters, that as this goes up, it's increasing. It's going to be exponentially larger as you go along. What I'm going to do in this matter is I am going to sentence you to 30 days in jail in this case. I don't have written down, Ms. Platic, was there any credit for time?
No, sir.
Okay. So there's 0 credit for time served. I will allow you to pay a purge amount of $500 in this case, that you have to pay that prior to January 24, 2025 at 4:00 p.m. If you do not, then you need to report to the sheriff at that time and serve the sentence that's been imposed on you. I will tell you, I'm still cutting, if you would, the amount of time you could get, because you could get up to 90 days, but recognize if you're back here again, the time's going to exponentially increase, and you'd be looking at extended periods of jail time served. So that will be the order of the court. You're free to go. Have a good day. Thank you, Ms. Brago, for appearing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.